Let's cover the latest breaking news in the world of print on demand so you're up to speed with what's going on. First of all, you mentioned Canada, but our first lead story is about the Canada Post strike that continues to affect our friends and colleagues up there in the Great White North, putting a monkey wrench in this holiday season. Let's just hope this gets solved sooner rather than later. But yes, the Canada Post strike continues and affecting merchants doing business in Canada.
Mm-hmm. And if you're wondering maybe how we can kind of address this, unfortunately, neither us, neither you have control over what carriers and post offices do. The best thing you can do for this moment is just be honest, completely transparent with your customers. Let them know of the situation. They're probably also very aware. So as long as you're upfront about it, most people will be understanding.
Communication is key in situations like this, and ultimately your customers are going to understand. So let's just hope this gets solved sooner rather than later so you can get back to business. TikTok Shop has launched in Spain, coupling with their recent launch in the UK. They're expanding their reach on the continent of Europe. This is simply their latest offering. Stay tuned for more, but this just demonstrates their commitment to being able to address TikTok merchants in continental Europe. So stay tuned for more to come from TikTok.
And this is a good sign that they're probably going to expand to the rest of Europe as well. If you're already using TikTok or you've been toying with it, start creating content now, build that audience, and then when TikTok Shop is launched in your country, you're going to be ready to go.
Exactly. And for those of you that don't know, the TikTok Shop US is one of our fastest growing sales channels ever that was launched this year. So something worth considering. Speaking of Europe, starting tomorrow on December 13th, new general product safety regulations go into effect. Now, what does that mean for people, for Printify merchants? Well, it's only going to affect you if you are selling inside the EU and Northern Ireland. If your primary market is the United States, don't worry, you don't have to do anything. But we're going to pop a link into the chat to some helpful resources to help you navigate your way through this. And here's maybe a good time to note that we're going to be popping a lot of links into today's chat, but if you're watching live, go ahead and click on those. But just know that they will be added to this video's description for everybody watching afterwards, okay? So what do you need to know about this particular general product safety regulations? Well, again, it's only going to affect you if you do business inside the European Union and Northern Ireland. So first of all, step one is going to be to make sure your products are compliant with this new regulation, is to turn on the GPSR settings in your account. And then for every new product that you create, the required product information will be automatically added to the product through the creation process. For all the products you have already created, simply go to My Products, select them, and click Add the description to each particular product. And in both cases, all you need to do after that is simply republish the product.
And for those of you who have tons of listings, we are working on a bulk update feature. Please stay patient, but it will come.
Exactly. And again, I'm going to say this a third time. It only affects you if you do business within the European Union. Click on the link, investigate the Help Center articles, and if you still have questions, go ahead and reach out to our merchant support. Moving along, one thing that's cool about this time of year is that several companies in our sphere release their trend reports for 2025. So I just want to cover a couple of them, okay? And we're going to pop the links to both of them into the chat so you can follow along. But the first one I want to highlight is Pinterest and their predictions for 2025. Now, one thing about Pinterest is they're remarkably accurate when it comes to their predictions. So you do well to take a look and take on board some of these ideas for you in 2025.
They've been about 80% accurate in the last 4 years with their predictions, so they're a really good indicator of what people are looking for. Because a lot of pinners or people who use Pinterest, they're actually planning for the future, so their audience is predicting what people want. And before we kind of get into some of these trends, put in the chat right now, I'm curious if you've seen this trend report, what are your favorite trends? They've got a lot of fun, quirky ones here. Up on the screen, we can actually see some of these. We've got sea witchery, it's kind of like dark, nautical. We've got a cherry coated and pickle fix. Those kind of speak for themselves. But let's talk a little bit about how we can actually translate these styles onto products. So we have some examples here. think about the aesthetic of the overall trend. What colors are being used? What design elements or the overall energy? And see how you can translate that onto products. So we've got some examples here. Again, cherry coated, pickle fix speaks for itself. We've got Rococo Revival, the pink in the top right corner here. That one I hear is going to be huge. It's kind of all frills and feathers and bows, really elegant. Think of like the 1700s Marie Antoinette style. She was the queen of Rococo. And my favorite of all of these, I love the fisherman aesthetic. I think it's kind of quirky, fun, playful, cute. Did you have a favorite one?
Yeah, the fisherman, that's the one in the bottom left, right?
Yes, the bottom
Okay.
left with kind of like the sea waves button up.
My favorite isn't on here, but that's Castlecore, because I'm like a massive Game of Thrones fan, so anything like medieval themed is totally up my alley. So if my wife is watching, now you know exactly what to get me for Christmas, okay? But moving on to the other trend report I wanted to highlight is Shopify's 20 trending products and things to sell online. Now we made a graphic for you up on the screen highlighting all 20 of them, but if you notice there are a few that are marked in green, and those are the ones I want you to pay special attention to because those you can find in our catalog right now specifically, okay? And number 1 and number 2, I want you to take a specific notice to, because those are our CPG or our consumer product, consumer packaged good products that we rolled out this year, being the first ones in the entire industry to do so. It's definitely something worth investigating, and I'd be happy to go into a deeper dive on this on a further episode. But just know that you have access to this kind of awesome stuff through our Printify catalog and start selling it if you decide to go that direction in 2025.
And don't be afraid to kind of get creative with these. You know, even some of the ones that we don't have marked in green, you can work into POD somehow. Look at wine, for example.
Right.
Okay, we don't have print-on-demand wine yet. Maybe in the future, I don't know.
Someday.
But we have wine tote bags. We've got wine glasses, other drinkware, different accessories that you could go along with this.
Exactly, and each one of these can be easily incorporated as some sort of design. You can slap it on a t-shirt or mug or what have you, okay? Wonderful. All right, well, let's go ahead and keep this train rolling. There's a recent news story came out that concerned the Savannah Bananas. If you're not familiar with the Savannah Bananas, they are a baseball team in the United States, and they play baseball in a very unique way. They're basically the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball. I highly recommend you check them out. They're a great watch, super funny. But they recently capitalized on a trend, and it highlights one of the things that is a unique advantage for you folks out there in print on demand. One of the most advantageous sales strategies you can employ as part of this business, and that is moment merch. You have the unique ability to instantly react to trends or things that are going on in the cultural zeitgeist that apply to your target customers or your target niche, create designs almost instantly, and then be selling right as that particular incident or thing is really popular. And then through social media or however else you communicate with your potential customers, you can capitalize on this and start gaining sales long before some of the big players can even dream about entering the market. And we're going to pop in a link to exactly how they took advantage of this moment merch strategy. I don't know if you were aware, there's a little while ago, there was an avant-garde artist that pasted a banana with a piece of duct tape to a wall and managed to sell it for $6.2 million. Well, how did the Savannah Bananas take advantage of it? Well, they created a shirt, you can see it up there, with an interesting design that capitalized on this on this moment that was active in social media and popular culture, and created a limited run of 62 shirts, capitalizing on that $6.2 million price for the art piece, and selling it for $62. Okay, now I don't know how many of you out there would like to sell a t-shirt for 62 bucks, but it's a pretty good profit earner, okay? So this is just one example of capitalizing on something that's popular, creating a design, getting it out there, and then wreaking the profit on it. Moment merch.
We have another really good example, actually, a success story, and we'll share the link, but we had a merchant who capitalized on a pop culture moment, Johnny Depp, Amber Heard trial. Mm-hmm. She made t-shirts that said, "Camille is my lawyer," and they just took off. So if you want to see the full story and her strategy, we'll also share that link.
Exactly. All right, moving this train forward, let's talk about trending products. Now, these are, of course, going to be highly holiday related, but it's important to understand the nuances in these particular products that I've selected, because we all know the top products. They're going to be your hoodies, your sweatshirts, your t-shirts, and the like, okay? But ornaments, they performed well. If you've ever watched this show, you know I preach the selling of ornaments during the holiday season to anybody who wants to listen, okay? If you're not selling ornaments, you're losing money, okay? But it's important to notice that the sale of ornaments picked up as the holiday season moved forward. So it's not so much it is considered a last minute item, whereas maybe you think that people aren't gonna order an ornament so close to Christmas to put on the tree. Maybe the tree's already up. That's not actually how consumers behave. These actually picked up throughout the season, as did mugs and candles and socks. But the real winners here are Kiss Cut stickers, and the surprise of the season was bumper stickers and puzzles. Okay, there's always a wild card every season. This year it was puzzles and bumper stickers.
I'm curious as to why that is. If you sell puzzles or bumper stickers, let us know in the chat kind of what made it go off for you. Exactly. I'm very curious.
That one really surprised me, like bumper stickers. You don't necessarily associate that with Christmas, but there you go. You just never know what's going to be hot. Speaking of trends, our friends over at eRank have a trend report on their dashboard, and I'd like to feature a little bit of information from that. Shout out to our friends at eRank. Now, I just highlighted some current trends that have been that are popular on Etsy for the last week, and I just want to highlight those for you. Of course, these are also going to be Christmas related, but it's important to keep track of these as part of your keyword strategy for the holiday season. Okay, personalized gifts, custom gifts. Now, if you are not selling customized gifts, well, you're missing out on another great advantage of the print-on-demand business model. Okay, it's one thing we do super well. So it's definitely something you should consider selling. And then, of course, wall art and wall decor that has been picking up steadily and showing great numbers ever since the pandemic. And, of course, gifts for him or her, because that's how people are searching this year. Ornaments, of course, and then Christmas, obviously. So, what's new at Printify? Well, I'm glad you asked. So, I want to highlight a few things that are new to the Printify platform that you should be aware of so that you can take the most advantage of your Printify account. The first is our Chatbot Richie. Well, now Chatbot Richie speaks 56 different languages. Leah, how many languages do you speak?
2 on a good day.
2 on a good day. Well, you can choose either one and have a conversation with Richie, our chatbot.
Just keep in mind, our real human agents, though, still only speak mostly English, so once you get to that point of the chat process, we either have to use Google Translate or you'll have to convert to English.
Exactly. But at least you can have a stimulating conversation with Richie, our chatbot, in your language of choice.
Go say hi to him.
All right, our bulk order limit was recently reduced to 20 items from 60 or 50 in some cases, but 20. Now, this is an excellent opportunity for you to take advantage of this new threshold to save a little bit of money when ordering in bulk. We're going to pop the link to that into the channel right now.
And some of you might be wondering, how do I actually get these bulk orders? How do people make bulk sales? There are a lot of ways to get creative. Go check out kind of in-person events, or maybe even like collaborate with a physical retail store or local boutique if it fits with your aesthetic, your niche. You can go to local companies for corporate merch, local entertainment events, or even nonprofits or charity organizations.
Exactly, and it's just an example of us working with our partners to find ways to save you money and put more money in your pocket. And here's what to keep an eye on. Well, although we're not technically through the holiday season yet, I mean, we're near the barrier of our our cutoff dates, but there's still certainly time to capture some more sales. Like if you're still using priority shipping or using Printify Choice or Printify Express, it's all about squeezing every last sale out of the holiday season. So we're going to pop in a link to our network fulfillment status page so you can find out which print providers you can still do some business with here up until those inevitable deadlines. But that means once those deadlines pass, you have to shift your focus to completely to completely focus on the customer service aspect of your business, because you certainly want to make sure you're available to answer any questions promptly, because these customers this influx of customers that you have during the holiday season, these have the potential to be repeat customers in 2025. So you got to show them a good time. Yes, and this is a good opportunity. I'm nothing if not a shameless self-promoter. Join me for my live Q&A sessions that I do on Mondays and Wednesdays. We can talk about any of the subjects we covered today. We can talk about the merger, because I want to talk about the things that you want to talk about. These are 100% free sessions. We're going to pop the link to these into the chat. Go ahead and sign up. Again, it's 100% free. Come join me in my home studio and let's talk about the things you want to talk about. And a special shout out to all you POD rock stars out there. That's our Facebook group. For you folks that are just joining us from Printful, I highly recommend you join our Facebook group, POD Rockstars. Come and listen, or excuse me, experience the experiences of like-minded POD sellers and learn from some of the best people out there. That's POD Rockstars, link in the chat. All right, well, folks, it's time to talk about the theme of the day. Now, that is our merger with Printful. Now, again, I'm going to say it again, because if you had told me a couple months ago that we would be here talking about this, I would have thought you were crazy. But it's a new day, and we're going to explain exactly what that means for you, because ultimately, you are the ones that are going to benefit, and your customers. So through this merger, what do you need to know? Well, you're going to be able to take advantage of the best of both worlds. Printful's in-house fulfillment centers and their high reputation for quality, as well as Printify's vast network and product catalog, our vast network of print providers worldwide and our massive catalog. And both companies will maintain their brand identities and function as separate entities for the time being. So no need to panic or to think that you have to do a whole bunch of stuff to your listings. If you like Printful, Printful's not going to change. Printify's not going to change. We're going to be supporting you through this holiday season, okay? And as far as our leadership is concerned, our CEO is Alex Saltonstall. He is the CEO coming over from Printful, but Printify's CEO, Anastasia Olenenka, has moved to the president and head of platform. So you can rest assured knowing that the steering wheel of the company is being helmed by professionals. But at the end of the day, it means just more access to more top quality products and more opportunities for you to profit using, again, the best of both worlds. So ultimately, you are the ones that are going to benefit from it. And we're going to outline exactly what that means here in just a second with Leah's frequently asked questions section. So what we've done is we have collected some frequently asked questions for you. And the lovely Leah is going to address those right now.
Yes, so I'm going to address the questions that have been kind of the most asked by all of you and kind of have been your biggest concerns. So the first question, do I need to do anything with my listings that are currently active? No, absolutely not. You keep on doing business as usual. You don't need to adjust or change anything. Next biggest concern, does that mean that prices will go up because Printful is a little bit more expensive than us? Also, no, your profitability is our #1 priority, and it's always been a key part of our success. We have no interest in taking away your profitability because your profitability is our success. Next, how does this impact quality? Both Printful and Printify have been taking and will always take quality very seriously because we know and you know that quality sells. And now that we are kind of joining forces, two brains becoming one, we can share knowledge and our technology with each other, meaning you get access to even better quality. This next question, we've been getting this a lot. Do you have a monopoly? No, we do not. There are still plenty of other players out there. Now, none are as good as us, so we think, but the options are still out there. Will this mean one subscription or login for both platforms? Not right now, but if it's gonna happen, you will be the first to know. And if you want it to happen, let us know. Put it in the chat, put it in comments, write to our support teams, let us know. The next question, why did you merge at the busiest time of the year? That is a very valid concern and a good question to ask. In short, mergers are just very long, they're very complex, and there are a lot of rules to follow. We wanted this to happen earlier, but we simply couldn't make it happen. And lastly, what do you have planned for the future of Printful and Printify? We will keep you updated with everything you need to know. Stay tuned, but for now, you can relax, rest easy, and focus on the profitability of your business. We will continue to have your back no matter what.
That's right. There's a ton of people working behind the scenes right now as we speak to come up with the next generation of solutions for you to add to your profitability. But how do you feel about this? Let us know in the comments, whether you're watching live or on replay. Let us know. How do you feel about the merger? How has it affected you? What do you want to see from us in the future? This is all valuable information that we can take on board. So please let your voice be heard.